It's the last Tuesday in the month of April. It's the 29th day. Let's hope that you are accomplishing great things. Hello and welcome to Jamaica Magazine. I'm yours truly, Adrian Atkinson. We have much lined up for you. Stay with us to find out what's on the other side of the break. We'll be right back.
The future of every nation depends on every child. Let us recommit ourselves to the cause of children's rights. Let us pledge to be vigilant guardians of their innocence, their right to education, to safety, and to a future filled with promise. Let us encourage them to stand up, speak out, and ensure that every child's voice is heard, every child's right is protected, and every child's future is bright.
Good day, I'm Theodore Henry, and this is your JIS News for Tuesday, April 29, 2025. With the global artificial intelligence AI market expected to grow to nearly $3.6 trillion by 2034, local stakeholders in the sector are being urged to position themselves as key players. The call was reiterated by Minister of Science, Energy, Telecommunications and Transport, Darrell Vaz, at the recent launch of local AI firm Vox Technology Limited. Minister Vaz says Jamaica has the potential to tap into the lucrative AI marketplace.
We have talent, we have infrastructure. We have an entrepreneurial mindset, and now we have a Jamaica AI company, Vox, that can compete globally. If we get this right, AI can become one of Jamaica's most valuable export sectors. We can build solutions here and deliver them to governments, businesses, and institutions around the world. That is the power of digital transformation. It knows no borders.
The telecommunications minister insists that Jamaica must now focus on key areas such as investment, smart regulation, education and upskilling, and collaboration.
We must invest meaningfully in our digital future. This includes both public and private funding to support startups, innovation hubs, and the infrastructure needed to scale AI solutions across the country.
Modernization work continues on 19 additional basic schools that will increase the number of institutions that are fully funded by the government. This adds to 9 basic schools that were modernized in 2024 and are currently undergoing the gazetting process. It's among interventions to fulfill the 365 recommendations outlined in the Jamaica Education Transformation Commission ETOC report. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education, Skills, Youth and Information, Dr. Cassin Troop, provided the update during a press conference hosted by ETOC on Friday.
We assess the system and we realize that we still do have some institutions that are operating without trained teachers. We need to fill that gap. 108 spaces are out there to be filled, and our minister is working with us to get this additional funding in place. We need about roughly 300 million, minister, to carry this cost to ensure that all our early childhood institutions have at least one trained teacher.
Meanwhile, the implementation process for the ETOC recommendations is now at 23%. This represents ongoing work on 130 recommendations and the completion of 15 so far.
50 new recommendations will be added into this new financial year. We have reviewed those already, and that will take us to 171 of the recommendations being actively pursued. And that will give us about 47% of the overall targets being addressed. So Jamaica, we are not sitting down on this, we are working.
In addition, the comprehensive review of the Education Ministry by the Mona School of Business is 40% complete.
They have done the desk review already, and they have done a series of interviews across the ministry and across other ministries to look at other structures, governance structures, and how they work and what is the best fit. and they have submitted the second milestone to propose a new structure for the ministry.
The review aims to propose a modernized governance structure with final recommendations expected by November. The government continues to prioritize home ownership for the less fortunate, with over $30 million spent so far on the indigent housing program. The houses are built for purpose concrete structures, and each unit has a bathroom and comes fully furnished with a bed, dining table, sofa, refrigerator, and stove. The latest recipients are two siblings of Danvers Pen in St. Thomas. Shamari McQueen received a one-bedroom unit, and his sister, Shani McQueen, was given a two-bedroom home. At the handover ceremony earlier this month, Minister of Local Government and Community Development, Desmond McKenzie, urged recipients of the program to remain legally connected to the electricity grid.
We encourage persons who occupy these homes not to steal the electricity, but to apply to the GAPS for the light. This is one thing that we are strong on. We know that cost sometimes is burdensome. We're now looking to put in solar system. We have done it already in 2 houses. And going further, that is going to be a feature of our indigent housing program.
Shani McQueen expressed gratitude on behalf of herself and her brother.
Thank you for such a beautiful house we are able to call home. To our Prime Minister, Honorable Andrew Holness, thank you for supporting Minister McKenzie on this notable venture. We look forward to making many beautiful memories.
The Hazardous Substances Regulatory Authority, HSRA, says it will be increasing efforts to ensure a minimum 87% of entities using radioactive devices and materials are verified and authorized by the year 2027. Director General of the HSRA, Dr. Cliff Riley, gave an update on compliance activities during a recent JIS think tank. He reveals that of the more than 502 facilities utilizing ionizing radiation sources, approximately 284 are currently authorized. Dr. Riley says achieving over 50% authorization in the 7 years of operation is a major achievement for the agency.
So all of our nuclear materials are under regulatory control. All of our highly radioactive materials are under regulatory control as well, which has positioned Jamaica to be in a positive position to benefit even more seamlessly from international support, financing, as well as even the importation and movement of more advanced radiological materials and devices within the space.
Another high point for the agency is that over 84% of all medical diagnostic facilities are authorized, as well as 83% of all industrial facilities. Dr. Riley points out that there are also encouraging compliance rates in the area of import and export of radiation sources within the Jamaican market.
The majority of our brokers, over 96% of our brokers, are currently authorized, and we are really encouraged by that to see the level of interest among our brokers and facilities within the public space, which at this point we are almost at 100% of all facilities in the public space being authorized to possess or to use their radiation sources.
On the downside, the HSRA's Director General points out that authorization numbers for dental facilities remain low at 26% and veterinary providers at over 25%, hence its mission to increase compliance in the fiscal year. And finally, Executive Director of the Public Procurement Commission, PPC, Nadia Morris, is representing Jamaica at a high-level international conference hosted by the World Trade Organization, WTO, in Geneva, Switzerland. The conference is from April 28 to May 2, 2025. As a panelist at the Advanced Global Workshop on Government Procurement Agreement, GPA 2012, Ms. Morris will discuss strategies for market opening and the economic benefits they offer. The workshop will focus on building awareness of the 2012 agreement, examine the work of the WTO Committee on Government Procurement, and explore synergies with other international trade agreements. The Public Procurement Commission was established in 2019 and oversees Jamaica's public procurement processes, ensuring compliance, transparency, and efficiency across state agencies. And that's it for JIS News today. I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.
As usual, we make our weekly Jamaica House visit to bring you highlights from the Prime Minister's work agenda over the past week. Here is Jamaica House Weekly.
Providing land and water for agriculture.
What this is an investment in our productivity.
Facilitating housing.
This moment marks more than the start of construction.
Assuring business leaders in the private sector and nurturing future chess grandmasters. You're watching Jamaica House Weekly. I'm Jabertha Atkinson. Welcome. Last week started on a high note for Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness as he launched the eagerly anticipated Panasas Agri-Park and commissioned the Panasas irrigation system. Both were done under the Southern Plains Agriculture Development Project, which is being funded by a grant of over £17 million or 3.5 billion Jamaican dollars from the UK Caribbean Infrastructure Fund, UKCIF.
This agri-park represents a future where Jamaican farmers are empowered, communities are revitalized, and our country moves closer to a competitive and climate-resilient agriculture sector.
The facility is delivering nearly 400 hectares of irrigated land for farmers in Clarendon, almost 9.6 million gallons of water per day, improved facilities for farmers to handle and store their harvest, and 12 kilometers of new roads. Prime Minister Holness says the project allows for more sustained agriculture production by increasing the percentage of Jamaica's arable lands under irrigation.
With this and Essex Valley, the Southern Plains Agricultural Development Project, SPAD it is called, we will probably get close to 20% of our arable lands irrigated. And when we do Pedro Plains, which is well on its way, we would have moved our irrigated lands to being about 50% of our arable lands. Can you imagine the fundamental shift in our agricultural productivity when we are able to mitigate and control for weather impacts on our arable land? It's a big thing.
Dr. Holness hails the investment as a major step in boosting production and lowering food prices.
Agriculture is not just a pillar of our economy, it is the foundation of our national food security. As global supply chains face increasing pressure and climate change threatens traditional productive systems, it is more important than ever that we as a country can feed ourselves.
Meanwhile, farmers who previously occupied the land were formalized under the project.
They made sure to give you proper lease arrangements. Some of you went to Hart and got trained. 240 farmers were trained. That's how we take care of our people.
The focus shifted in Montego Bay to housing. Over in Spot Valley, Prime Minister Holness broke ground for 418 one- and two-bedroom units at the Brookside Estate Housing Development. They are being built under the National Housing Trust's Guaranteed Purchase Program.
This moment marks more than the start of construction. It signifies our continued commitment to making the dream of home ownership a reality for thousands of Jamaicans. Brookside Estate represents the government's firm belief that every Jamaican family, regardless of income, regardless of social status, deserves access to safe, affordable, and modern housing.
From there, it was on to Rhine Park for a tour of the Housing Agency of Jamaica's Edmund Ridge project.
There are 739 housing solutions that will be constructed here. Phase 1 and Phase 2 are already completed, I believe occupied already, and those communities are flourishing communities, you already have a citizens association in place. Phase 3 is already sold out. And phase 4, 5, and 6 are underway in varying stages.
Meanwhile, Dr. Holness was updated by the UDC on repairs to the grounds at Harmony Beach Park, which were damaged by waves in February of this year. Repairs to the northern gully wall is completed, and full repairs to other areas is expected by September.
We are now at a point where we have to spend $500 million on protecting this $2 billion investment. So I want the people of Jamaica to understand that climate change is real. It has fiscal impact, budgetary impacts, and the government is doing the best it can to ensure that the assets that we have that are coastal, that are low-lying, that are at risk of sea level rise and other climate activity, that we are making the investments to protect them.
Another item on the Prime Minister's itinerary was to meet with the leaders of the private sector to discuss urgent international trade-related issues. At the Private Sector Organization of Jamaica PSOJ Partners Circle Breakfast meeting, Dr. Holness assured members that the government would continue to strategically engage bilateral partners on critical issues.
So, for the government, you would have noticed that we have taken a very strategic approach. We have avoided hyperbolic comments. We have been very measured in our statements, and we have sought to engage. And I give the private sector the assurance that you will not have to suffer at the altar of ideology.
Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness has reiterated the government's support for the popularization of chess across the island as another avenue through which Jamaicans can pursue and achieve greatness. The government invested an initial $40 million last year to support the undertaking of the Grandmaster in 10 initiative by the Jamaica Chess Federation. As a former competitive chess player, the Prime Minister says the path to achieve Jamaica's first chess grandmaster within 10 years lies in supporting the infrastructure for young talent to excel.
We're going to create the superstructure to ensure that the talent we discover and support, that they are facilitated, that the connections are made so that they get the exposure, because that's a critical part of it. But more importantly, that you know that your government and your country values your effort.
Dr. Holness was speaking at a meet and greet event put on by the Federation for Jamaican American Chess Grandmaster Maurice Ashley and Hungarian Chess Grandmaster Judith Polgar. And that's it for Jamaica House Weekly. Be sure to join us next time for more of the news stories coming out of the office of the Prime Minister.
Picture this. You finally made it to university and you're having the time of your life, but something happens, leaving you to question your safety on campus. We don't want that for you. And that's exactly why this next feature is in the lineup.
Going to university is an answered prayer for many students. Some might even refer to it as a place where dreams become reality, paving the way for a future of success. But with the hopes of furthering your education or getting that university experience, an unexpected event occurred that changed the course of your life. While walking from class, you were robbed. not only of your personal belongings, but also the fun experience you wanted to have. You now become fearful because of what transpired, and it has led you to start questioning your safety on the university campus.
Safety on campus is very important. If the students don't feel safe, I don't think they will be effective in learning, because you would have to be worrying now about you just existing on campus and being able to survive rather than focusing on studies.
Of course, this is a concern on and off campuses, so the important thing is to arm yourself with information that can help increase your safety.
When it comes to safety and the university campus, we'd have to put it in context. So students are more at risk at nighttime, and given that reality, students can be safe in many ways. They can walk in groups at night, they can avoid dark spaces and lonely areas.
If your university offers an on-campus shuttle service, use it.
They have campus security escort you can call and ask for escort to drop you at your necessary locations if it is too late.
As for females in particular,
well, something I always tell my women is that we want to ensure that somebody knows your location at all times. Sometimes we're a bit too negligent and we don't really want anybody in our business, but I think having at least one trusted friend to have your location is really beneficial. And as well, women, we need to look out for each other. So constantly checking in to make sure that they are okay. Check the location. If they say they're going somewhere, you check in periodically to say, hey, is everything okay? Are you feeling safe? Are you back home? Stuff like that. As well as taking a few self-defense classes. It might seem over the top, but it's beneficial for us as women because you never know what could happen.
Some of the things I will tell students, especially as freshmen, please don't be naive when you arrived on campus. Ensure your personal security as it regards to using your personal gadgets. It could be laptops, cell phones, whatever it is. Don't be careless in a way that you constantly utilize your phones and in areas where it might look safe, but at the end of the day, you need to look around your surroundings, at least glance to see, is it okay? Please to do so, because you have to remember too, we have financial institutions here on campus. They have also persons coming off campus. They're not students. They have to utilize these business facilities.
With safety as a priority, no matter where you may go, it is incumbent on you to be very vigilant.
Oftentimes, when conversations about safety happens, people think that it's only students on hall who are at risk. You have commuting students who may have to leave their classes, let's say around 9 p.m. and have to walk to the back gate to rely on public transportation. That long walk, oftentimes, they would come upon dark points. The more places are bright, it tends to ward off thieves and persons who may want to have, malicious intent.
While urging students to take precautionary measures on the campus, the same goes when traveling on the roads.
Whenever you have to take taxis to come to campus, please ensure you get a glance of the license plate numbers. I have to be practical. At some points, you might not be able to get the license plate number because of the rush going into the vehicle, but please take note of your drivers. It is very important there.
On these campuses that house thousands of students and accommodate thousands more who commute, there is no doubt that the roads are very busy.
Don't cross the roads being on your phone, please. And also, when you are using your laptops at gazebos, ensure that you are in position of your items. If you have to move, ensure that you ask someone to look at your items and don't move too far. Remember, students, coming here on campus, even returning students, your security is your responsibility. Always remember that, please.
But if students should look out for each other with the mindset that each one helps one, then the ebbs and flows of life would be less challenging.
There's beauty in community, so you're less vulnerable when you are surrounded by a group of people and all of you are going towards the same direction.
It can be undetected and unnoticed, a dangerous gas that can create serious health problems. What am I talking about? Carbon monoxide. To protect yourself, your loved ones, and your home from carbon monoxide poisoning, let's get some advice from the Jamaica Fire Brigade.
It's invisible, odorless, and tasteless. Yet, carbon monoxide claims hundreds of lives every year. Could your home be at risk?
Carbon monoxide is a poisonous gas. It will kill you. Carbon monoxide goes to your brain, it shuts off the supply of oxygen. It suffocates you.
This toxic gas builds up quickly in enclosed spaces. Without proper precautions, even a few minutes of exposure can have deadly consequences. Everyday actions like starting your car or running a generator could turn deadly if done in the wrong place.
Do not start the car in the garage and leave the car throttling. The carbon monoxide from that car will kill you in quick time. So if you have a garage, when you are going to start that car and the garage is included, please open the garage door, and hopefully, I'm hoping that the tailpipe, the exhaust will be to the back and will blow the fumes out.
It's not just cars. Other common sources of carbon monoxide include kerosene heaters, charcoal grills, gas stoves, and water heaters. Always ensure proper ventilation when using any fuel-burning appliance. Generators are another common source of carbon monoxide poisoning, particularly during power outages.
If you are sleeping and the generator is inside your house, that fumes from the generator will not wake you up. That fumes will put you into a deeper sleep. It will put you into a state of unconsciousness, and you will not wake. Generators must be operated in an open area. If you have a generator room, you must provide for the ventilation. So you put the exhaust and ensure that exhaust goes outside. You don't want the exhaust of a generator to be anywhere inside where people are, because the fumes, the carbon monoxide from the generator attack your red blood cells. It takes away the oxygen.
Simply put, always open your garage doors when starting your car and ensure the exhaust is directed outside. Never use a generator indoors. Keep it at least 25 feet from your house in a well-ventilated area. Carbon monoxide detectors are your first line of defense. Install them near bedrooms, garages, and living areas. Regularly check the batteries and test the alarms. Protect your family from the silent killer. Take precautions today to prevent a tragedy tomorrow. For more safety tips, visit the Jamaica Fire Brigade website at www.jfb.gov.jm. In the event of an emergency, call 112 or 119.
And that's it for today's edition of Jamaica Magazine. Every day can and should be celebrated simply because you are alive. But if this day is a special one for you, be it a birthday, anniversary, or other special occasion, we wish you all the best that life has to offer. Do join us again tomorrow for another informative show. Remember to visit our website in the meantime, jis.gov.jm, for more news you can use. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Stay safe.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.